After installing Incus, first before doing anything, you need to run this particular command in order to start using Incus in a functional manner. Otherwise, you won't be able to create any VMs or networks, because by default, once Incus is installed, you don't get a default storage pool, you don't get a default network created. So you have to either create one by one using manual commands, or you can use this wizard to initialize Incus and have a default set of resources created, like a default storage pool, default network, default interface. So in order to do that one, you in the documentation, if you go to documentation, you can see under general section, after installing Incus, you have initialize Incus one, and this is the command that you need to run, Incus admin init. So you need to do this one, sudo Incus admin init. So this is whether you are asking whether it's a clustering Incus infrastructure. So my one is no, so I'm going to go default no. You want to configure new storage pool? Yes, by default it says you should give it yes. Name of the storage pool, I can give it like you can give default, or you can give it sp1. And what type of storage backend you need, you can give it directory, LVM cluster, BTFRS. So BTRFS is BTRFS is the default Linux storage backend type used by most of the Linux systems. So you can, depending on your preference, you can give either. I'm not going to go I myself is not a storage pool expert, so I'm not going to go deep in this one. So I'm going to use the default Linux most used one, so BTRFS. You can either type this one, or you guys can just press enter. So enter will take the default one here. So create new BTFRS pool. Yes, I need yes, so I'm going to press enter. So would you like to use an existing empty block device? So whether I have a already empty block device created, that means a BTFRS block device already created, so I don't have one, so I'm going to say no. So default is no actually, so I'm going to press enter. Size, so you can here you can give as 1 minimum GB or maximum any. If you press enter, it will be creating 5 GB block device, loop device. So I'm going to click on 3 GB. Yes, I need a new one, and INC1. So cider, you can either give a cider notation, or you guys can click on just press enter, it will create automatically, it will detect on. And do you need the IPv6 ciders? No, I don't need this one, so I'm going to type none. Would you like the server to be available over the network? Yes, I need my server to be available over the network. So if you click no in this one, then remember, when you are accessing the server using the if you want to access the server using the GUI, or if you want this particular server to be accessed from a client with another in another machine, so you have the server in here, but you are going to have multiple clients installed at separate machines, and from those clients you need to access this particular server, you can't do this one. And again, even if you have two Incus servers and you want to share content between the two servers or make a clustering, you can't do this one if you do not make the server available over the network. Okay, default is no. You can click on yes here, or if you can change this configuration again later on also using the incus config command. So since I need this server to be accessible, I'm going to click on yes. So when you need this particular server to be available over the network, you can give a specific IP address that the server will be listened on. Make sure that IP address is attached to a port in the server, or you can click all. That means any network interface this server will be accessible through the any IP address attached to any network interface of this particular server. So if you want that one, click press enter. So it will by default from using every network interface will listen. That means any IP address attached to any network interface, or if you have a specific network interface that you need this particular service to be accessible for. Like you have 5, but out of 5 you only need 1 to be used by the Incus to accessible. So then you need to give the address for that particular interface. So since I want to use any interface to access the Incus, I'm going to press enter, or either again you can give the IP address that you want, but make sure this IP address is something binded to your server. Okay, do not include in port, you don't need to give the port, just the IP address that should be bounded. So that means this IP should be an interface IP address of your server. Since I need to be available through any network interface port, I'm going to press enter or the port. So this is the same as the core HTTPS port. You might have come across that one. So if you watch my how to access Incus GUI, Incus using the GUI, or copy Incus VMs from one VM to another, or move Incus container from one Incus server to another, if you watch that video, either of those 2 videos, you will come across this core HTTPS port. So core HTTPS port is the port that is used to expose Incus server to your network, so any other remote servers can connect or remote clients can connect to. So by default it's taking 8443. Either you can get 8443, or if you want some other port you can give it as it is. So I'm going to give this one. So Incus by default uses some default repositories, and if the images are not used, do you want still the images to be updated, like image metadata need to be updated periodically? It's better to say yes. So this one, so if you type yes, all the configuration which you have provided, you can get a YAML output, so you can save it for later use. That means in a case that your server got corrupted, or you need to copy the similar specs to another server, so you can have this output which you are using the wizard to an YAML output where you can back it up. So better to give yes in here. Now you can use your Incus server and create a VM or a container as you like. So I'm going to create a VM just to show you. Incus launch. I'll fast forward a little bit. So now the first container which I created, temp23, has been now created. So if I type Incus list, I can see temp23 running. So temp1 is a earlier container which I created before. So temp23 is the new container which I just created. So if I see, so temp23 it's running. So if I want to stop it, I can type in Incus stop temp. So this is a container. If you want to run a VM, it's just simple command, just type /VM. This is the command that you guys can use to create command, but unfortunately I can't create the VM because the thing is this particular Incus server is running on AWS for me, and AWS in there the virtual machine, the nested virtualization is not enabled. So because of that one, I do not have the KVM support. So because of that one, I cannot create the virtual machine. I can create containers, but I cannot create virtual machine. So if this is errors of failed instance creation because the KVM is not there. But this confirms this is the command that you guys need to use the if you want to create a virtual machine. So hope you guys understood how to initialize. First get started, initialize your instance server to first get started working. So any settings that you do in the initialization, you can change it later on using the individual commands. You can change it using the CLI, or you can change it using the GUI. Doesn't matter. You can change the default settings on any time you need. It's just easy using that wizard admin init. Using the wizard, it's easy for you to set up the Incus server quickly to get start working on. But if you don't want to use that one, by all means don't use that one and individually set up each and every configuration you need in your most granular manner you need. You can go to granular manner and change it. So hope this one help you in any of you who started working or have started working already with Incus. So share this video with others that might help, and subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, press the like button, and if you have any questions, please put it on the comment section as well. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.